Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Monday, March 23rd, 2009. Well, a monster up move on Wall Street today, folks. And again, what you're seeing is the markets have surged higher as Geithner has released his bad bank plan, where he's going to try to take some of these negative assets, these hurting assets, and get them right off the books of these financial firms. And this is huge for the market. And obviously, the market's reacting in that way. That's showing you how big this is. The Dow's up 310 points. The Nasdaq's higher by almost 60. The S&P is up 33. Across the board, 4% on the indexes or more. You're looking at my chart intraday of the SPY, and again, it's the 10-minute chart. And what you're seeing here is some major levels coming into play. Now, these are very important levels. I'm going to go over every one of them here in the video to try and give you guys a good outlook on where this market could trade for the rest of the day. Now, when you're looking at this chart, you're obviously focusing on the green trend lines that I have. The moving averages have not played much of a role in this market today at all. And that's okay, because believe it or not, I'm more focused on the trend line analysis side. As you guys know, it's been much more accurate than using trend lines. Trend lines everyone uses. You got to get to the next level to really be accurate on this market. That's what we teach in the research center to our premium subscribers as we guide them through all this nonsense that's going out of avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Okay, first of all, you can see here on your intraday 10-minute that we gapped higher on the day very substantially. After closing very weak on Friday, the bad bank plan being released over the weekend, you knew the markets were going to try to make a massive rally on Monday. So you gapped higher, and you see this key trend line, and this is what you have to know. You have to know which ones are the most important, which ones are the semi-important, and kind of the levels of importance. And what you do is you look at on the past level and see which levels do they coincide with. And what you're looking here, going back to last Thursday, before we broke this pink trend line, and remember, this is the major trend line that we said once you break this, you're going to have a very nice sell-off. And sure enough, Thursday, Friday, the markets did sell. Now, what you know about this Thursday action is that the low of the day got tagged twice, in fact 3 times going into the close, this one trend line. So you're taking your lows of the day on Thursday and drawing it right across, and here it tags it again. So you have multiple tags, and you close right on it or right above it as well. So all of a sudden, this is telling you there was major support here all day long until we broke down Friday on this move lower. So what happens today on Monday is you gap right into that same level, and you have to understand that this was a pivot point for the overall market. And I told people this in the chat room, and I said, guys, watch to see where this candle closes. If you close here above, look for the market to continue higher. If you close below, look for a sell-off in this market to continue lower and possibly maybe gap fill or pull down to these major moving averages, or at least this lower range. So what happened is this. You actually closed the candle higher after testing the upper trend line here, which was at approximately $79.10 on the SPY, and then in intra-candle you pulled back and just closed slightly up on that candle, but nonetheless it was above. So all of a sudden you have to look at it as, all right, I have a positive bias in this market. Now they try to do a little shake and bake here in the next candle. The next 10-minute candle actually starting to move lower and closes below. And at this point you have to go back into neutral mode. And again, this is just all watching this one pivot line, which is right at $78.75. $78.75, this level right here. That's your pivot line. You want to watch which side you go on. As long as you're above it, you want to look to the upside. If you're below it, you look for the downside to the next support. So on this second candle of the day, you actually pulled down and closed below, which all of a sudden told us that you may want to go test this lower level. And sure enough, in the third candle of the day leading into 10 o'clock, the 10 o'clock key time frame, you in fact sold down and almost touched that lower level, basically came to support right here at around 78.25. And again, this is all intraday stock chat stuff. We're talking in live in there, giving play-by-play, giving support, resistance, explaining, answering questions, you name it. But the whole point here, folks, again, is that you pulled down, then rallied back up, and you never got a secondary close below this line. And you have to look at that as a positive. In fact, not only did you not get a secondary close confirming the move below this trend line, but the third candle here, in fact, closed back above. As soon as you recapture that line, you have to start looking long again in this market, and what happens, we start to massively rally higher, and the market just takes off here. I mean, this is just a 10 o'clock move, and remember, we do price, pattern, time, and this is, again, the stuff we go over in the research center for our premium subscribers, but you have to understand your price, your pattern, and your time, and the 10 o'clock time frame is a key component of that time. 10 o'clock, 10:30, both major components of timing and analysis. So as soon as you get that 10 o'clock time frame close above this major trend line at $78.75, the market starts to rally higher, pushing hard, hard, hard until we get to this secondary line. And by the way, these lines have been on since Friday, folks. These lines literally have been on for days, if not weeks, in this market. So it's not like we're just drawing them in here. This is stuff that I'm using my actual trend lines and my charts that I use in the chat room, showing this to all our subscribers. Okay, so again, you have to know that as you're rallying up here, this is going to be resistance. We called it out in the chat room as is at $78 and around 80 to 90 cents there. You punched it on this candle, pulled back. You punched it, closed above, didn't confirm it, pulled back, consolidated. Then what you have to realize is, remember, price, pattern, and time. Here's a pattern. This is a pattern recognition tool. This big green up candle, look at your inside bar is red here. All intraday inside bar is red. That's a bullish flag pattern in spirit of bull flag setting up for another move higher, and you have to be alerted to that. And if you know your patterns, you would be. And then all of a sudden the market takes off again. Where does it go? Our next line. Boom, beautifully. It pierces it multiple times, cannot eclipse it, however, and in fact pulls back right now. And this is what you're watching. You're watching my charts live, folks. I mean, this is actually during the market hours. It's a little before 1 p.m. Eastern time here. And what you are seeing here, folks, is a market pulling back off a major resistance level right around this $80.30, $80.40 resistance level in the markets. Now, should this move, and again, I'll show you the key levels on the 60-minute. We'll go into the 60-minute as well. I'll show you all the key levels there. But what you're looking for here is you're going to have support coming into play right here at $79.85 approximately, $79.85, $79.90. Right underneath that 80 level, you should have support coming into play. In addition, you have your 20 moving average sloping up, which is going to meet this in about 2 candles in 2 10-minute periods, and it's going to coincide with this. So it would not shock me to see the two things coincide, and I'll draw that in right here. It would not shock me to see a pullback into this. Now, what you have to realize is that this pattern formation on the intraday chart is, again, right now a bullish pattern. Why? Because you're having inside bars inside this big green up candle. So right now that will be a bullish pattern formation. However, if you come down and start closing candles and closing outside of this range, as soon as you eclipse this, that's negated. And that's very, very important to know, because too many people, continue to see it come down. Oh, okay, it's still intact, and it's really not intact. So you got to know your rules, guys, and this is part of the reason. We had a webinar on Saturday. A lot of enlightened people went away from that webinar this weekend, and I do encourage you to join the next one in April to really fully grasp what we're doing here, because it is amazing, and I can't stress that enough. Now, as you pull back here into the 20 moving average, if you do, what you're going to watch for is support. This should be a near-term bouncing opportunity, but I'd be very cautious if you do eclipse that more than just a scalp play to the upside. Now, again, what you have here is still a bullish pattern. This could break higher at any moment, and until, again, it eclipses this lower level, it's not negated. Now, we're going to go to the 60-minute chart, show you guys a little bit on the analysis here. I have 2 key levels in. Number 1 was this level right here. We burst through that 79.75 level, going above 80. Your secondary level, should you get through this on the 60-minute, which is this one still. So remember, on your 10-minute, you still have your level at $80.30. On your 60-minute level, the next one I'm concerned with is a double top going back to Thursday and Friday. This double top range will be at approximately just under $81, right around that $81 level. That'll be a very, very significant resistance level should we make a move. Should we pull back below $80, you may see a pullback come into play this afternoon. Now, there's a lot of speculation. Geithner's going to be out talking about his plan. Do we sell Geithner? Is it sell the news type event where he gives more details and we just say, you know what, people take profits? There's a lot of little ups and downs in this market this afternoon. You're going to have to watch very closely. So far, the week's gotten off to a good start, but what do the charts really tell us about the rest of the week? And again, that's saved for the rest of the premium subscribers. We go over the daily market stuff in the videos here. The daily chart, you will wonder what this chart is telling you for the next few days. That's what we'll reveal tonight in the videos. All right, folks, have a wonderful day. As always, we thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.